Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and I am not here with Geeky Sparkles today. It is election day here in America, and she's actually working the polls. So she may not be in any videos today, or if she is in videos, it'll be later tonight. So I guess I'm gonna have to give you your daily dose of dismal Disney without Geeky Sparkles, and I'm really bummed about that. I really am. This happened last night. This dropped, let's see, well, would have been afternoon on the left coast. That Disneyland may stay closed for another year because of Governor Newsom's guidance for reopening theme parks. Is very, very strict guidance for reopening theme parks in California. And now many mayors of major California cities are speaking out against Newsom in his draconian lockdown. This is coming from Deadline. California theme parks may stay closed for a year, say mayors of California's largest cities in letter to Governor Gavin Newsom protesting his coronavirus restrictions. Holy crap, that is a headline and a half. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Newsom has been accused of overstepping. Judge bars California Governor Newsom from overstepping powers with COVID-19 directives. So there we go. Guys, we're at 150,000 subs. Thank you so much. We're on our way to 200,000. If you could give us a sub, it would be greatly appreciated. And also check out some of our merch at shopclownfish.com. So here we go. On Monday, the mayors of California's largest cities sent a letter to Governor Gavin Newsom imploring him to modify his stringent reopening guidelines for large theme parks. The missive said the government's requirements would effectively keep parks closed indefinitely. That is true. A lot of Disney's layoffs are because of Disneyland being shut down as long as it has been. Disney World is basically picking up all the slack at this point. Disneyland, I think it was Sunday, people found out they were getting laid off, 10,000 layoffs at Disneyland. I expect more because we don't know when Disneyland is going to be able to reopen, because according to Governor Newsom, Orange County has to be in the yellow, which is damn near the end of the pandemic. And now they're saying that Disneyland could be closed for a whole nother year. In their letter to Governor Newsom, the mayor said the guidelines put forth by your administration were released within the framework of prioritizing public health and safety for guests and employees. This is the right focus. However, economic and public health are not mutually exclusive goals. We are concerned that the state's guidelines would push reopening of large theme parks up to a year out, which would have significant negative impacts on hundreds of thousands of jobs, thousands of small businesses, and billions in operating revenue for our cities. The letter was signed by the mayor of Anaheim, the mayor of LA, the mayor of San Diego, the mayor of San Jose, the mayor of Fresno, the mayor of Bakersfield, the mayor of Riverside, and the mayor of Santa Ana. The mayors are part of the Big City Mayors Coalition and represented some of California's largest cities. They urged Governor Newsom to allow theme parks to open in Tier 3 with reduced capacity rather than in Tier 4, and asked the Newsom administration to work with the city leaders on protocols for reopening theme parks while maintaining a health-first focus. Now, Newsom was pressed, I believe, Wednesday about Disneyland, why he would not agree to reopen Disneyland. And he wouldn't even mention Disney by name because there's supposedly some legal action going on. We're going to talk more about what's going on, just in the fact that Newsom is overstepping. But we've got mayors, most of them, I believe, Democrats, coming out against Newsom and saying this is too damn strict, because what's going to happen is, Anaheim suffers. If you can't open Disneyland, all of Anaheim suffers. People are going to lose a lot of jobs. There's so many people whose livelihoods depend on those theme parks. Not just the people working in the parks, but all the hotels around it, all the restaurants, Uber drivers, all of that. They're all going to be hurting because of these draconian lockdowns. For the past month, Newsom and large theme park operators have gone back and forth in the media over the issue. Last week, after one letter from state legislators, another from the trade association that represents the state's theme parks and general public outcry, Newsom finally addressed the situation. Self-evidently, said Newsom, we should be concerned about opening up large theme parks, which by definition, people mix from all possible walks of life and putting ourselves and others at risk of seeing transmission rates rise. Just minutes after California Governor Newsom made those remarks, the California Attractions and Parks Association, a trade group that represents theme parks, issued a response. Per CAAPA, we continue to ask the administration to share any data or science related to theme parks that they're using to inform their decision to keep the major theme parks closed indefinitely while allowing smaller, similar venues to open. So they can open smaller theme parks. We're not talking about the big parks, Universal and Disneyland. We're talking about the mom and pops. Parks have been open throughout the country and world for months, and we have seen no data indicating that COVID outbreaks are being traced back to the theme parks. If they can reopen safely in other states and countries, why not California? That's a good question. That is a good question. And in fact, other people are starting to feel that Newsom is overstepping. So they talked about how they had this live stream with Mark Galley that during the orange tier, small parks could open to 25% capacity or 500 visitors, but Disneyland is going to be in tier 4, yellow, and this includes Universal too, and I think Knott's Berry Farm, which is much further down the road. At that point, the guest limit is 25% across the board, and indoor dining establishments can only operate at 25% capacity. So Orange County, where Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm are, is solidly in the red tier. LA, home to Universal Studios, is in the most restrictive tier, purple. Asked for a response on Monday on a midday Zoom call about the governor's plan, LA County Health Director Barbara Ferrer told Deadline she had not read the mayor's letter. I do want to thank the governor and the governor's staff and the local health departments. She said that they're trying to balance the needs of our economy with health concerns. Yeah, so it's pretty bad, guys. I mean, we're talking a year until they can get to yellow. And even then they can only open up at 25%. I mean, Disneyland is screwed. People were joking. They were joking before about Disneyland moving to Texas and calling it like Six Flags over Mickey. But you know what? If Disneyland can't reopen in Anaheim anytime soon, I would not be surprised if Disney started to seriously look at other options. Because right now, everything is ground to a halt because of Newsom. Now, here's the thing. Judge is barring California Governor Newsom from overstepping his powers. This is coming from the Post. Are we allowed to talk about the Post on YouTube? I know they were banned from Twitter. So Newsom has been barred by a judge from overstepping his powers and making controversial coronavirus directives that could change state laws. Since declaring a state of emergency in March, Newsom had issued more than 50 executive orders of the pandemic, including ones on how people vote in the election. The LA Times noted. Sutter County Superior Court Judge Sarah Heckman on Monday tentatively ruled that one of his orders requiring vote-by-mail ballots to be sent to the state's 22 million registered voters was an unconstitutional exercise of legislative power. The judge also issued an injunction barring the governor from using his emergency powers for actions that amend, alter, or change existing statutory law or make new statutory law or legislative policy. In a 9-page decision, the judge wrote that the California Emergency Services Act does not permit the governor to amend statutes or make new statutes. The governor does not have the power or authority to assume the legislature's role of creating legislative policy and enactments. The judge's decision followed a lawsuit brought by Republican Assemblymen James Gallagher and Kevin Kiley, who said Newsom, a Democrat, was single-handedly overriding state laws. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. There's talk of Disney and Universal getting together and suing Newsom too, because they're like, you're deliberately not letting us open at this point. It's vindictive. As I understand it from Disney insiders, Disney thought they had a deal worked out with California. They thought that, given how things have gone in Florida, that they would be able to reopen. And as I understand, the rug was pulled out from underneath them during that live stream with Dr. Mark Galley, because Disney's like, we have this in the bag. We're going to open up in November, December. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And then they had the rug pulled out from underneath them. And of course, lots of people got laid off. This is a catastrophe for Anaheim, for sure, for Southern California. And I don't know what the solution is. I used to live in California. I spent half my childhood in California. I used to bounce back and forth between both coasts, and it's definitely not the same state it was when I was growing up, but that was a long time ago. So I'm going to wrap this up. Disney does have their quarterly earnings call or year-end earnings call, I think on November 12th. Now, for some reason, their stock is going up. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I am baffled as to why. I'm not really complaining because I do own Disney stock. But, the news has not been good. And the fact that, the media is pointing out that it could be a year until Disneyland opens, which means Disney World has to pick up the slack. Not terribly good financial news. Not good news at all, but who knows? I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.